and go and start recording. So a review for the quiz on Friday. This also, I'll put a YouTube link up for everything gone over. If you've got a select statement and you're doing 2 columns, maybe you've got stock times price, so that it looks how many you have in stock and multiplies it by the price of the value of the item. So you know what is your total inventory. You might need to do something like this for tax purposes, where you have to submit in, what's the value of inventory that you have. What type of expression is that? We're doing stock times price. Anybody? So in chapter 10 on page 254, this is a numeric value expression. So numeric value expression, you're expressing values that are used in math in numeric form, which is what you'd do if you're doing multiplication, addition, division, subtraction, anything like that. You can do with columns if you're running a select statement, and those are called numeric value expressions. So we would come up with one cell with stock times price for a particular item. So it's going to be a fill in the blank answer. Fill in the blanks are always interesting. I typically have to go through and forgive anybody that misspells a word. This is a throwback, I believe. I think it's a throwback. Predicates can evaluate to what? What can predicates evaluate to? An example, name equals what? The predicate is the equal. What can that evaluate to? Or this whole statement. What could that whole statement evaluate to? Wade?
Oh, was gonna say true or false.
True. False. Somebody else have another thing that could evaluate too? Null. Null or unknown. So yes, you were thinking along the correct lines. I think I had this question on another test, or it was in a self-test or something. Pretty sure this was asked before. So predicates, true, false, or unknown. And that's pretty much in any coding language. If you're using an if statement, it's going to be true or false, basically, or come up with an unknown value. So you want to find the word and in the description column. And notice and is in lowercase. What would you write to find that? Lots of quiet. Well, you don't have to actually put the word where in here, but it would be an where statement. Where
Description.
you put the column name. Where description. And put like. And I just do percent and percent. And if it's typed in lowercase, it's going to find it in the lowercase form. And there are functions for like 2 uppercase and 2 lowercase, but I just want to find a word that's typed in lowercase. So I don't need to lowercase the description column. That would find every word and if there's an and with a capital letter or something, we don't want that to be shown.
But do you want just the word and, or do you want it to be in other words? Because we have it right now within other words as well. It could be hand.
Yeah.
Or sand.
I would accept that on the test. You could increase that out, but
You could just do spaces. Because a lowercase and isn't going to be at the end of the sentence and it won't be at the beginning of the sentence. So you can just put spaces.
you would think it wouldn't be, but
It should not be.
it shouldn't be. Grammatically, it shouldn't be. So you could add spaces around it, but either form would be acceptable. So the answer could either be that or that. Just that. It has to be at least a minimum of that typed in. You could put the where in there just if you wanted to. It's specifically asking for the predicate. So really, even like that would work. That would be the predicate form. But yeah. And normally not at the beginning.
Technically, start a sentence.
Do it like once in the entire paper or something.
One function can count all rows with Bob. Thunder shaking the building. So you're probably thinking of something like select and like count everything from table column like maybe percent Bob percent or something kind of like that. The answer to this is what function can count all the rows with Bob? Just count star. It's just asking for the function. It's not asking you to write the whole entire thing. Yes, count is a function. Min, max, anything that's got the parentheses is a function. Count's one of the more popular functions. What reverses the output of a predicate? Not reverses the output of a predicate. And again, this entire test is mostly essay and fill in the blank. Just warning you. Essay and fill in the blank. What do you think?
Underscore is 71%. 0 to 1.
So you said this one is 0, 0 to many, and underscore,
Symbol.
single, or 1. So those fill in the blank things, like I said, I'll have to look and see if you wrote single or 1 or the number 1 or that way I know that you know the underscore is a single character, mandatory, %sign, it's not mandatory, it's any characters to many. Represent no characters at all to many characters.
T-Rex is coming, it's showing.
Yeah. So what predicate should you use to compare against a list? In. This question's worded differently on the test, but the key word is in a list or a list. Anytime that you're doing a list, use the in predicate. Many times in predicates used with subqueries. You write a subquery that gets 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different values out of it, and then you'll use that inside of a parent query in an end statement. So anytime that you're going to, if you do run a subquery and it gives you more than one value, you need to use in as the predicate. Or here, if you have more than one value, typically use in as the predicate. So the key word to think about when to use the in predicate is a list of values. Think of the word in. So back in chapter 9, we talked about exist, and we also talked about sum, and we also talked about any. What's the difference between sum and any?
There is.
Yeah, they are the same. Even in the English language, it's just synonyms, I guess. I think that's right. Synonyms of each other. Sum and any. So there's no difference. It's grammatically not different, and logically in the SQL language, it's not different. What function gets the current date?
Date or time.
Current date. I think I have to use this in a select statement. Let's see, it depends on the. Select current date. It can sometimes just run by itself. I think Oracle, you can just type current date and it'll show the current date. Some of them require select statements. Some of them actually do a select current date from a table like foo or dual. Oracle uses a Fox table, a fake table called dual, D-U-A-L. So I can't remember on, that's a vendor implementation on if you're required to put from something. I think Oracle requires it like that. MySQL might just take current date, or they may even have it worded differently in MySQL, but current date's what I'm looking for, just the function name.